The final banner before the Transcendent Dokkan campaign. What should you summon for LR Turles? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We got another Dokkan Battle video for you here today. We have the upcoming Yellow Coin LR TEQ Turles, a quite powerful villain LR, in the place of our final summonable banner before the upcoming Transcendent Dokkan campaign. So in this video, we are going to break down for you whether or not you should summon for this LR Turles. As always, before we answer that question, we're going to take a look at three major things. We're going to look at the unit itself. Is the unit good enough to justify a summon? After all, you'll be getting some free tickets and maybe even some pay-to-play tickets for you pay-to-play players out there. And of course, right, we will look at the unit's banner, right, as a yellow coin banner. What can we expect to see on this banner, and will it be worth our summon? And then finally, we'll take a look at what lies ahead. If we choose to summon on this upcoming yellow coin banner, what are we giving up in the near future? So let's start by taking a look at the unit itself, right? How good is this unit in relation to the other units that I've released? So he is extreme tech. He leads space traveling warriors, low class warrior for key 3 and attack and defense 200%. So it's honestly a pretty decent leader skill for 200% since we don't really have those the space traveling warriors covered. It's really good leader skill. Now, he activates the entrance animation when there is another Space Traveling Warriors or Terrifying Conquerors ally on the team, just one. He gives him key 6, damage reduction rate 10% for 1 turn, and Space Traveling Warriors or Terrifying Conquerors allies key 1, attack 20%, and an additional key 1 and attack 30% for characters who also belong on the Planetary Destruction category for 4 turns. Basic effects include attack and defense 250%, and chance of forming a critical hit and damage reduction rate 50%. When HP is 50% or more, he has guard. When receiving an attack, he gets an additional 300% defense. And when attacking with 18 or more key, he gets stacked 200%, launches an additional super attack. For every super attack performed with 18 or more key, he gets an additional key 3 up to 6, helping him hit that 18 and 24 key more consistently. When attacking with 24 key, he gets an additional attack 200%, chance of forming a critical hit 20%, and an additional key 3 up to 6. Once again, to help him hit that those key requirements sooner. Now, he also has an additional ability that takes effect when his domain is up. Receives an additional key 2 per key share obtained. Recovers 5% HP per key share obtained up to 50%. Attack 200% and chance for a critical hit 30%. Damage reduction rate 25% when receiving an attack. His active skill is his domain. It can create the domain of Tree of Might for 3 turns and can be activated when he has 50% or less HP, or when you have another Space Traveling Warrior or Terrifying Conquerors ally attacking the same turn, starting from the 3rd turn. His super attack effects greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn, causing colossal damage to the enemy, while his 18 key massively raises attack and raises defense for 1 turn. His 12 key also has the ability to lower enemies' attack and defense. His domain will buff Space Traveling Warriors or Terrifying Conquerors categories enemies and allies, attack and defense 15%, plus an additional 10% for characters who also belong to Planetary Destruction. It increases damage received by superclass enemies and allies by 10% as well. So really, really powerful leader, not leader, but support unit for your Metal Cooler leader. This guy is designed to be run on that Metal Cooler team with double Metal Cooler as your lead, although you could probably run 2 of these and maintain the domain and get similar numbers to what you'd be seeing under a double Metal Cooler. You just wouldn't have that extra giant form. He is designed as a support unit. He can hit some pretty decent numbers defensively, like when we look at his defense, right, with his domain and his damage reduction all the way up, right, you know, we got 3.9 over 4 million defense with his 3 super attack effect stacks. On the active skill turn, over 4.3 million. 3.9 to 4 on average, and that's not including things like Metal Cooler support or Metal Cooler SA support or Goma support, right? There's a lot of extra stuff that's going to go into this to buff that defense. Offensively, he's going to be hitting about what we are expecting for most units nowadays, right? Anywhere between 50 to 70 mil with multiple super attacks. That massively raised attack is going to do a lot of heavy lifting for his offense. Now, but you know, again, offense won't necessarily be his forte, though that actor skill turn will be good for him. So on his face, he is a great unit to summon for, and him being one of the only yellow coin LRs we've gotten this year. Actually, he is the only yellow coin LR we've gotten this year. It makes him a really good unit to summon for. So I would say it's one in the category for summon. He's probably one of the best yellow coin LRs we've gotten since Goma, really. I mean, and before that, what was it? AGL Metal Cooler, or not Metal Cooler, AGL Golden Frieza. So definitely worth it for the unit itself. But of course, this unit doesn't exist alone. He will be on a banner with other units. And if we take a look at previous yellow coin LR banners, right, it's not looking too pretty for him. Last year's yellow coin banner in this time slot was the LRTN, and it wasn't pretty. We had the Ginyu support units on the banner, which was helpful for the Easy A Ginyu, and I imagine these guys will be replaced by the Turles support units, right? That would make sense. Even if they don't Easy A, I imagine they'll still be on there. You'll also have a couple other LRs, more than likely. I would say Goma would probably be on this banner as well, and possibly maybe the STR LR Turles would probably be here as well, as he would be a decent support unit to include, right, if you're somebody who doesn't mind using items in older units. So I'd imagine that's who else would be the other LRs on there. So expect only about 3 LRs on the banner, including the new one. And then, you know, maybe this is probably the banner units, so probably Legic and actually Legic works because he would also be on the leader scale. So Legic and possibly Pui Pui here as the 2 banner units, or Legic and Ku more than likely, or yeah. So it's not a pretty banner. So honestly, while we do have a yes in the category for the unit, it's a big fat no in the category for the banner. The banner's just not going to be pretty. It's really not. So that begs the question, well, what lies ahead? If we still decide to jump in on this banner, well, what are we giving up in the near future? Well, as I said, this is the last banner before the Transcendent Dokkan campaign. As of this year, we are reverting back to the old schedule with Transcendent Dokkan campaign, previously the Tanabata campaign, now occurring in July. So this banner and the rest of the campaign will run until about the 26th. If we look at like the campaign details, it'll run until about the 26th of this month, with the Tanabata Transcendent Dokkan campaign starting probably around the 28th to the 30th. I'd imagine they might do a countdown campaign that starts around the 26th, with the final with the finale happening on the 30th and the 1st, possibly. And so that'll lead us into the Transcendent Dokkan campaign. So whatever the theme ends up being, right? People are thinking movies based on the leak. Some people are thinking Namek based on Frontiers. Whatever it is, I'm going to be honest, Turles probably isn't gonna be worth it over that, right? Most people probably should be saving for GDC anyways, which is occurring in September, and we'll get to that campaign in a sec. But you know, if you were to summon on mana, I'd say that TDC is probably your better option. So knowing that that is the very next thing, plus it's part 2 Carnival, which will be a double rates banner, is the next thing after that, probably not a good idea to be dumping yellow coins on this upcoming yellow coin banner. With that said, after TDC, we will move into the August Dokkan Fest campaign. It'll be a small campaign, as it'll be the campaign right before GDC. There likely won't be a part 2, but rather the Peppy Gals banner, and it'll probably see something silly, something throwaway. That's usually what it is, right? You know, the last time we had a true August campaign, it was Roshi. It was Super Trunks the year before that, who wasn't throwaway, by the way. I know I just said that, but no, not throwaway. But with that said, right, it's it's going to be something that most players can skip. So, you know, unless you're really itching to summon between TDC and GDC, it's going to be a big fat skip. And then that leads us into our GDC campaign, which will be beginning at the end of August into September. So, I mean, realistically, knowing what lies ahead, it's a big fat no on the summon. So while we do have one for the unit, right, being good enough to justify a summon, definitely not good enough knowing what the banner is going to look like and what lies ahead. However, there are a few caveats to mention. As I said, this is a yellow coin LR, which means getting coins to coin this guy later in the year are going to get tougher and tougher. Dokkan is seemingly reducing the amount of yellow coin LRs we get to summon on. So I don't want to say no summon, but consider where you're at with your yellow coins. It might not hurt to do a multi or two, no more than that, just to build up some yellow coins, right? You'll never be able to get these guys with coins if you don't summon on yellow coin banners. Now, it's possible he could be tossed on a banner later this year, maybe even GDC. I doubt it, but there's always that distinct possibility. He could also be on an anniversary banner. It's a really tough place for this particular slot for a yellow coin LR is a really tough place because they have very few places they can return. The next possible place he could return is November, and even then it'll be on another yellow coin banner. So you're in the same situation. So I just wanted to leave that caveat. You know, consider how many yellow coins you have in determining whether or not to do a multi or two. I don't recommend doing more than that. That said, there also will be tickets that is a yellow coin banner, which means there will be your guaranteed SSR tickets, right? So you will have your free tickets from the Seriously Serious battles that you'll get, probably one or two multis, depending on how they handle it. It's been one so far. And then, of course, if you're pay to play, you can pick up the $30 guaranteed featured pack, which will guarantee you a featured unit on the banner, which, I mean, if you're pay to play, little play, that's not a bad deal. So overall, my recommendation is a no summon. No tiered summon on this one. No summon. If you are a regular free-to-play player, continue saving. I'm going to do another video fully breaking down how many stones we can expect to get in the upcoming Tanabata campaign, and then we'll do a second follow-up video once we actually get to campaign details to see how it matches with our prediction. But you know, it's definitely looking like you should be working on your saving. Right? Don't spill your stones on this, guys. Save them for the bigger things to come. So guys, that is it for the video. If you guys like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know, will you be summoning for the TEQ LR Turles? He is a really cool card. I can't wait to test him out, but I do think you guys should probably save your stones. But let us know what you intend to do in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.